Hello, this is the daily Forex report for September 27th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair first. This pair tagged the previous session's low, did pull back up, closed higher. Overall, this pair is moving sideways. Look for it to potentially go up and hit resistance at 84.67, possibly moving down and hitting support at 84.00. Okay, now looking at the Euro-USD pair, this particular pair broke the previous session's high but pulled back, closed lower. We are looking for the overall direction to continue to the upside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 135.86, possibly down to 133.54. Look for some resistance around 135.10 and look for some support around 134.05. Okay, now looking at the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair moved higher. Overall, did break the previous session's high but closed pretty much at the previous session's close. We are looking for this to continue to the upside. Look for it to hit some resistance and move up to 158.66, possibly moving down and hitting 157.41 at support. Okay, now the US Swiss, this particular pair created an inside bar, so we're looking for the breakout on that one. Did close up, gap down, filled that gap fairly quick. We are looking for this pair overall to be moving to the downside. However, we do have a potential for a reversal. Look for it to potentially go as high as 0.9927, possibly as low as 0.9748. Look for some resistance around 0.9901 and look for some support around 0.9775. Okay, now as far as what I'm looking at during this next session, we do have this strong run to the downside that we had. If you want to take a kind of a micro level view of this from a Fibonacci retracement standpoint, and like I said, this is a micro level, you could move this last strong move to the downside. We had basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions that closed down. Did create a doji bar. We could get a swing around like we had over here. We had doji bar, market came down, had a doji bar, and it turned up for a couple of bars there. If we do get a pullback, and we have our retracement there, and then we have our fan, our Fibonacci fan here, we would be concerned with, and we're lined up with it exactly, basically this box here. What we look for is a buy at the 23.6 level and look for it to come up and hit our 50 line here. This would be a quick little trade, roughly about 28 pips. Interestingly enough, we did have an inside bar during this last session. So if you put a breakout from the high there, it's a little bit higher than the 23.6, but the high here, which is another area of potential resistance, is kind of right in line with where we have a potential exit from the 50 line here. So I do believe if we get a breakout to the upside that we will hit this mark and find some sort of resistance at that particular price. Now, if you take it from the 23.6 level, that's 26 pips. Of course, if you take it from the breakout off of the inside bar, you got about 16 pips, 17 pips. So either one you go off of, you should be able to grab at least 15 pips between this mark and this mark. Where to put your stop loss? Well, a good way to do it would be maybe to go ahead and buy off of the inside bar, look to exit here, and put your stop loss right below the 23.6 level. Well, all right, that takes care of that. Let's take a look at news announcements. We have the German Consumer Price Index being released, which would affect the euro for September. Consensus on that is that things have moved up from 1.0% to 1.3%. We also have no time given on the release of that. We do have at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time the pound releasing the gross domestic product for the second quarter, showing that it's held at 1.2%. Year to date showing a hold at 1.7%. Also have the U.S. releasing their consumer confidence report for September at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that it's dropped a little bit from 53.5 to 52.1. We also have the Japanese yen at 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time releasing their large manufacturing outlook, which is consensus for the third quarter on that is it's going to be held at 3, as well as the large all industry cap, which shows an increase from 2.7% to 3.0%. So definitely keep an eye on those news announcements. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.